All right, we're pivoting our attention to the NFL draft and 49ers prospects in particular. How about 49ers quarterback prospects in particular? Because I'm going to get to this in a little bit. I already did another video on it. The Trey Lance news today, which was Trey Lance revealing that he had misspoken during his locker room cleanout interview, that he won't be fully cleared until OTAs, that just adds to the urgency for the 49ers to add at the most important position, add a quarterback this offseason. I think they're going to pick up a veteran backup that's within their budgetary constraints. And I really think there's a good chance the 49ers draft a QB too. So when we look at the 49ers and what they've generally liked at the quarterback position, the quote down on my screen sticks out to me. Kyle Shanahan, after the 49ers drafted CJ Beathard, it was revealed that he said that Beathard is tough as shit, in quotes, tough as shit. CJ Beathard. That was from a Peter King article. He got to sit in on the 49ers draft room in 2017. CJ Beathard at Iowa, where he was teammates with George Kittle over the course of the final 4 or 5 games, played with a torn adductor muscle. It's a core muscle. It was torn. He played with it. It was painful. And it turns out that really jumped out at the 49ers. They really liked how tough CJ Beathard was, and that's why they picked him in the 3rd round. Over the course of time under Kyle Shanahan, we've now seen 6 years of him at the helm of the 49ers. QB toughness has become both a coveted and a necessary trait because so many of these quarterbacks have gotten hurt. They've actually needed guys to tough stuff out and play through injuries. Now, you can talk about Shanahan's management of quarterbacks all you want, and the 49ers need to improve their pass protection, which I think they absolutely need to continue doing. But this is a conversation about the quarterback position in particular. And you look at Beathard, who took, there were games where he was hit 16 times against Arizona in 2017, who was able to just hang in there and get the crap beaten out of him and stay available enough for the 49ers at a time when they were a terrible team and they just needed somebody to take those at-bats, right? He was able to do that for the 49ers in 2017 up until he finally couldn't get up that one time against Seattle, and Jimmy Garoppolo came in, threw the touchdown pass to Lewis Murphy, started the final 5 games. 2018, 49ers obviously saw big-time quarterback injury again when Jimmy Garoppolo tore his ACL. Nobody's really tough enough to play through a torn ACL, but we saw in 2020, Garoppolo try to play through a high ankle sprain. Came back early against Miami, right? Didn't go well for the 49ers. Then tried to come back again against Seattle, re-aggravated it. That's the year that Nick Mullins tore his UCL. 2021, Jimmy Garoppolo played through a torn thumb ligament and then also through torn shoulder capsules, both on his throwing arm. Trey Lance also tried to play through some stuff, through a chipped finger that year in 2021. And then this season in 2022 was really the crowning achievement of 49ers quarterback toughness. You had Brock Purdy literally play through a torn UCL in the NFC Championship game. That didn't go well for the 49ers. But anyway, toughness at the QB position. For whatever reason, the 49ers really need it. Maybe they should set up parameters under which they need less toughness just because you don't want as many QB injuries, but they definitely have needed it. And if you look forward into the 2023 draft, there's one prospect that really stands out as a tough as shit quarterback prospect, and that is Fresno State's Jake Haener. He fits the toughness bill. There he is. Matt Barrows and I prepared a 49ers big board on the draft on The Athletic that is linked in the comment section. It's also linked in the description. But Jake Haener has got a resume. Jake Haener played a game through a severe hip and oblique injury against UCLA at the Rose Bowl 2 seasons ago. And here, this is courtesy ABC 30. You'll see some highlights. It was impressive. The guy could barely get up as they were mounting a comeback attempt late in the game. He was using, I think, his arm for extra torque because that hip and the oblique was, look at him, just staggering, falling down to his knees. I mean, this was a performance for the ages from Jake Haener at UCLA to lead the underdog Fresno State Bulldogs to the win over the Bruins. But Haener, you talk to talent evaluators around the league, and the early vibe on this guy is he brings a lot of what Brock Purdy has brought to the table for the 49ers. He delivers the ball on time. He's got a lot of moxie, and obviously the toughness component that Kyle Shanahan has liked so much is there. Now, if we look at today's news, Trey Lance said this during the Super Bowl to Rich Eisen. And because he said this, and it didn't come out until now because the full interview wasn't made available till now, because of this, there's an even greater 49ers need to fortify the quarterback room. Take a look.
So you're ready for when? When are you ready to get back out there for the 49ers?
I will be fully throwing back on the field the last week in February, like truly taking drops, throwing.
Okay.
But it's going to be, it's going to be a process, ups and downs, and it has been, obviously, with the second procedure and everything like that. But I feel like I'm in a really great spot. And OTAs, I should be fully cleared. I did misspeak when I was doing my exit interviews.
What do you mean?
And I said that I would be fully cleared in the next 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. But that was cleared to run.
Okay.
Not fully cleared.
Okay.
So people took that in a very different way. Okay. And my PT gave me a hard time about it.
Oh,
I'll say that.
PT, is that
my physical therapist?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought not your HC. Your HC was
no.
Agree for that.
Nah, my HC is like, man, whenever you're ready to go, let's go. Kyle. Kyle ready to go.
Right, but he can't, get you until April, right?
But, yeah. With the rule, he follows the rules.
Okay, of course.
He's
a rule follower.
Yeah, he got fined one time.
Right.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that.
No, it's okay.
But he did get fined one time for OTAs. But it was our fault. We were going too hard.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Guys were sleeping on sleep numbers. Guys were ready to wake up.
All right, well, Trey Lance has got it down. I think Kyle Shanahan's got it down. He gets fined for running the 49ers too hard in OTAs, and Trey Lance is blaming it on the players. It's kind of funny that then. I believe that happened 1 or 2 seasons ago. I guess Trey was already around. I think it was in 2021 where Shanahan got fined. It was after Diamond Lenore posted the video of some bump and run coverage that technically wasn't allowed during that period of OTAs. But anyway, water under the bridge. They're all laughing about it now. Anyway, the context there is that Trey Lance won't be fully cleared until OTAs. There's going to be a section, or he says by OTAs. It's unclear when, but initially he said it'd be by the end of this month. He's going to start throwing with dropbacks next week, which is by the end of the month, and running, I guess, as well. But the fully cleared date will happen a little bit later. It's all just general context of the 49ers quarterback situation. They need as many bodies as possible. They ran out of bodies in one of the greatest NFL injury catastrophes of all time at Philadelphia about 3 weeks ago. So when we're looking at who the 49ers can add, well, I'm talking about this guy on the screen. Jake Haener fits the 49ers toughness bill really well. Matt Barrows and I went through a ton of prospects. These are the 49ers draft picks in this upcoming draft. They've got 10 of them projected. They're not all certain yet, but this will be finalized in due time. You've got 3 third-round picks, 3 fifth-round picks, 1 sixth-round pick, and 3 seventh-round picks. Of those picks, only 2 originally belong to the 49ers. The rest of them are either comp picks in the minority hiring process or picks in trades or comp picks for player departures, which I believe are still being finalized. So DJ Jones, Arden Key, those players all – hold on, let me decline that call. Those players all netted the 49ers a comp pick. So you've got some in the 7th round. You've got one in you got 2 you got one in the 5th and one in the 6th. And obviously Jeff Wilson, there was one that came in through trade in the 5th round. So Jake Haener fits the toughness bill for the 49ers. And, when you look at the picks here in the draft, the 49ers will be able to pick Jake Haener if they want to use one of those 10 picks for him. He's projected to go somewhere between the 3rd and the 7th round. I know a big, big range. I think, ironically, the Brock Purdy success, he was picked number 262, very last comp pick of that 7th round. Teams are probably going to try to replicate that by picking somebody that they view as a comp to Brock Purdy, which might be Jake Haener a little bit earlier this year. So Jake Haener's draft stock might be elevated by Brock Purdy's success. But the 49ers, they're short on 1st and 2nd round picks. They don't have any of those. They have a lot of mid to late round picks. And if they want a guy like Jake Haener, well, it's just a matter of willingness, I think, for them. They can use one of their, 3rd round picks. They probably will be able to get him if they think that he's going to be picked that high. But anyway, wrote about, just the traits that Jake Haener brings to the table. And I do think that they fit a potential Kyle Shanahan system. He likes the toughness, but he also likes a guy that can get the ball out on time, the moxie, the leadership. The 49ers definitely need to fortify that room. All right, I'm going to take a couple questions, maybe about Jake Haener. Maybe we got some 559 Fresno State Bulldog fans in here. Yep, of course we do. Salvador, all Fresno State products will be big-time playmakers at the next level. Go Bulldogs from Salvador. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, I believe, visiting the New York Jets. Good stuff. Combine is around the corner, Salvador says. If Haener is there, he'll shoot up the draft boards. Yeah, we got Fresno State fans here. I love it. Do you think teams look at that 10-yard? Yeah, I think so. Well, here's the thing with Brock Purdy. 40 time, not great. 10-yard shuttle time, really good. And it's not 10-yard shuttle, it's 10-yard split. Sorry, I read your comment there. It's 10-yard split. It's the shuttle's a different event. The 10-yard split is just measuring how quickly a guy gets out of the gates on the first 10 yards of a 40-yard dash. Brock Purdy's 10-yard split was about as fast as Lamar Jackson's. His 40-yard time was nowhere near as fast as Lamar Jackson's. But functional speed for a QB, especially a pocket-based QB, that 10-yard split means a whole lot more than the 40-yard dash. You're not running a 40-yard dash generally to get away from a pass rusher. You need to sprint away from him in the first 5 to 10 yards, and that's what Purdy has. I think that's what made him special this season. Nah, it was my fault. I should have corrected you first before I said it wrong. Thank you, Brian. Good comment. Fresno State fan here loves Jake Haener's toughness. Other 49ers news today before I have to get going is Jimmy Ward. His contract voided today. You might have caught this on the Lombardi 8 a.m. scramble. It's what I talked about. Ward's contract voided. This was planned, nothing to freak out about, but it does mean that officially $6.4 million hits the 49ers books as dead money. I mentioned on Twitter, they're still in a good cap situation. They've got about $8 million in space. They can still operate a series of restructures, starting with somebody like Christian McCaffrey. And they're going to save money once they extend Nick Bosa on the 2023 books. $17.8 million cap hit right now, and the fifth-year option will drop down to, I don't know, something between 10, 12 million. I have to do the calculations on that. But if the 49ers want to open up some room, they can absolutely do that this offseason. And I think they could be big players on a luxury player market. Last year, they paid a lot for Charvarius Ward. Maybe they pay a D-tackle this offseason. That's all stuff that we're going to break down over the course of the next few weeks. All right, everybody, thank you for joining. It was fun. We talked to Fresno State Bulldog, Jake Haener. Another Fresno State Bulldog, Derek Carr, be much more expensive financially on that free agent market. Visited Robert Saleh's Jets, or is scheduled for a visit with the Jets. Everybody have a good Friday evening and take care. Bye now.